Coach, this is day 2 talking about summer camps, and I just wanted to give you a couple of games that we play in ours, something that might be a little bit different for you, and you can add them into your camps if they work for you. But games are really what makes the camp most fun for the players who are coming. Now, these are 5th through 8th graders that we have coming into our camp, so we try to keep it competitive. We like to add the time element into it, like we saw with our hot shot yesterday. Just adding that little bit of pressure can really help them kind of enhance their game, add a new element to things. But we have some other games that we do that just puts pressure on kids, and they're kind of fun to do. The first one is just a free throw competition. Pretty easy to do, double elimination kind of, or 2 shots missed and you're out sort of thing. The way that we do it makes it real easy is we just line them up right along the edge of the free throw, and then they shoot one at a time. So it's one and rotate. Everybody just kind of moves up, and you keep shooting one. We usually have a coach with the clipboard or something off to the side, and he just starts, or she starts, taking a tally of who's missed shots and who hasn't. As they miss 2 shots, they're out, and the ones who haven't missed 2 remain in there. Once we do that, if we have grades that are close together, like our 5th and 6th graders, we would combine them for kind of a champion, so to speak, of those 2 age brackets. This year we have our girls and boys together, so we might put our boys and girls 5th and 6th graders together, and we'd have a 4, 5, 6 team or 6-person playoff to find that overall camp champion. Same thing with our 7th and 8th graders. So we try to pair them up with like skills and like ages, but it works pretty well for us. The second one that I'm going to talk about is not one that everybody does, but it's thunder and lightning. And really, that I say not everybody does it is I've been to camps where kids have never played it or coaches don't know the rules. So while I kind of think this is, wow, everybody knows how to do this, I found that that's not the case. So if you do it, you know how thunder and lightning works, then you kind of move on from here. But if you haven't played it before, it's a fun shooting game, and you're just lining the kids up typically at the free throw line. But our younger ages, we do have a volleyball line that kind of comes in right about here. So we'll line them up at that volleyball line to help make some shots. But you line them up, the first 2 people in line have the ball. And the way it works is the first person shoots. If they make it, they quickly pass it back here to this next person. If they miss it, they need to get the rebound before the next person in line steps up and shoots the ball and makes it. If the person behind you makes the shot, then you're out. So if this person was to miss it, this person steps up to the line, makes it, then they stay in the game, and this person is out. So you want to make it as quick as you can. You got to move fast. You got to get the rebound fast. The thing you always have to emphasize with the kids is make sure that you're shooting your shot. You're not just shooting quick or throwing it up at the hoop. A lot of times they'll want to do that and then just get the rebound for a layup because it's easier. We want them to actually shoot the ball. So they want to do it quickly, but they don't want to be in a rush, and they want to try to make that first shot and then get it back in line, get that ball back in line as fast as they can so that the next person in line can have a chance to shoot and get somebody out. So we did that in our all camp. We did an all camp for 5th and 6th graders today. We did all camp 7th and 8th graders, mixed the boys and girls. And then we had our staff do it. And we mixed in the winners from our earlier competitions in with the staff, and the kids just went nuts for it. So it was a lot of fun. I will have to say the 5th and 6th graders did take longer, so make sure you add in a couple extra minutes because sometimes they miss so many shots that it can actually take a little bit longer than what you have planned, and that's what happened to us today. 7th and 8th graders in the staff competition went about as we had planned. You know, some kids are making it, but they're also getting out at the same time. All right, the last one that I want to explain, and this might be the most difficult to do because people just haven't heard of it, is a game called Taps. This is one that I learned when I was actually a camp counselor at KVCC when I was coaching there, and then we just kind of held on to it and kept it going in the camps that I've done because it adds the element of time. You have a teammate. There are some different rules to it though, but it's a 2-on-2 shooting game, and you play for 3 minutes. So like I said, this one, it's called Taps. I'm not sure why they call it Taps. I think tips would be better for it, but that's what it's been called. So you play for 3 minutes. That's how we have our kids do it. You have a partner in here as well. So it's not an individual drill. And let's go ahead and we'll say this is the white team up here, and we got the black team down here. All right, white starts with the ball, and you're shooting from the elbow right there. You shoot that 15-foot shot, and if you make it, you get 2 points. So a make equals 2 points. If you make it, then the ball goes to the other player. So the other person on your team, we'll call them number 2 there, is they get to shoot it. If they make it, then you get another 2 points, and you just keep going back and forth. Okay, if you never miss it for the whole 3 minutes, you would have it for the whole game. But inevitably, somebody does end up missing it, and that's where black comes into play. If they can get the rebound, say there's a miss, this person gets the rebound over here, and they can tap it or tip it in, they get 2 points. So a tip is equal to 2 points as well. If they can just rebound it and put it back in, but they don't tip it in, then they get 1 point. So I'll just put rebound is just 1 point. But by getting that ball and putting it back in, they are the ones who get to come out here and be the shooters. So we'll pretend here that they switched. The white team missed it. Black was able to get it. Whoops, my curtains here are getting in the way. So now we have black out here shooting. And our white is now rebounding. All right, so they start with the shot. If they make it, they get the 2 points, and it alternates back and forth. If they miss it, then white gets a chance to tip it in or rebound. Now, one variation of this is if white can tip it in the air to a teammate and they can tip it in, they would get those 2 points. Obviously, a level of difficulty there, but the older kids can do that once in a while. If they can rebound it, and they want to pass it in because the shot's too far away or they just aren't confident, they can pass it, and then this person can shoot it. There's no dribbling. You have to use a pivot foot. You can travel. A travel would be a turnover in this game. But that's another way they can get that 1 point. So that works really well for the younger kids. The older kids, you could take that rule away where you can't pass it. You have to shoot it where you rebound it, and it's just up to that rebounder to make it. So that's one kind of variation there. Now, when you come back out here, let's say the black team missed it, but the ball hit the ground. In that case, white doesn't get it. The ball hit the ground, they didn't rebound it. Ball goes to the other shooter. If this person makes it right here, they put it back here. So this player had just missed, but the ball hit the ground. This person made it. Now we're coming back here. If they miss it a second time, so they've had 2 misses in a row, it's an automatic switch. So white comes back up top because the player missed it 2 times in a row, and black is going to be the ones who go down and become the rebounders. So that's another way that the game can actually move on. With the younger kids, that really helps because you get the shooters switching quite often. With the older players, that doesn't happen as often that they miss 2 in a row, or they don't get the rebound. But that's one way that you can do it as well. The last thing to add in here is an air ball. An air ball is an automatic switch as well. So if somebody airballs it, they automatically switch it. But you play for 3 minutes, you count up the score as you go, and as they get in those last 30 to 45 seconds, you can really, the pressure is on, kids start getting a little bit tense, they don't shoot it quite the same way with that same rhythm, and it can be a lot of fun. Younger kids, feel free to move them in. So they might start in here a little bit closer. With the older kids, if you have high school age kids, do it from the 3-point line. I've seen it done that way as well. But this game is a great way to get a lot of shots in, work on the fundamentals of shooting, put them in a position that they have to play against a clock. They have pressure because they are keeping a score here. And then we run it as a tournament. So if you have a tournament bracket, you just fill in the team names, and then you run it as a tournament and go from there. So, Coach, those are 3 games that I think are really easy to put into your camp, and they don't take a whole lot of time. They do require you to have some stations. If you're a coach that just does everything on your own, would be hard to do these if you had a really large group or if you had a lot of different age groups or grade levels. The way that we run it, we have stations by age or by grade. So it makes it relatively easy for us to do. Our varsity players set their kids up at their station, and then they set up the brackets, which we've printed off for them, but they fill them in, they run everything for us, and it works pretty well. So, Coach, our second day of camp, we had the Thunder and Lightning tournament today. It was an absolute blast. Tomorrow we put in taps. So these are games that we're going to be doing this week, and we found to be kind of tried and true ways of getting players shots and putting them in different situations. So hopefully something that you can use. All right. Tomorrow we'll do another one, add some more information about camp, but hopefully this helps you for today. Thanks.